Hi there, it's Reed from Blue Bear Quilts, and I'm going to show you how to make the Teal Appeal quilt today. This is Teal Appeal, and it is made with Island Batik's Tantalizing teals, and this is a 2.5 inch strip quilt, so it's pretty easy to do. Let's get started, and I'll show you how I made this quilt. To make Teal Appeal, you have to start with a 2.5 inch strip pack, such as this one from Island Batik called Tantalizing Teal. Just look at these gorgeous batik fabrics in an array of teal greens fading into teal blues. This is a palette that I really like working with. So this is a super easy quilt that's made with 2.5 inch strips of teal fabric, and then also 2.5 inch strips of black fabric. So once you have your strips, then you have to cut them into subparts. And so for the color strips, there's basically 3 sections, and it tells in the pattern what size to cut those sections. Same thing for the black. You need so many squares of a particular color of black. So you need some black squares. You also need some longer black rectangles. And you need some shorter black rectangles. And that's the only pieces that need to be cut out for this quilt. Next, I'll show you how the blocks get laid out. So before we lay out the block, I'm going to show you how to use the Creative Grids folded corner clipper ruler to make these half square triangles on the end of this piece and this piece. So basically this is a 2.5 inch half square triangle, so you need to put a 2.5 inch square on top of the other piece. And you want to get those lined up nice and neatly. And then you want to look at the angle that that's making. So I'm going to slide that over there, put this over here, get this piece all nicely lined up. There we go. Then we take the clipper tool, and we're going to be using the 2.5 inch line on this ruler because that's how wide our strips are. So I want the angle of this is the shorter piece here, so I want the angle to be going in this direction. So you can see now that the angle is going that direction. So I'm going to line up the 2.5 inch with the edge of my 2.5 inch black square, and it matches up here at the top. And then the outer dimension of the piece also. And we just take and cut through both of those fabrics, the black and the blue. And then we're going to sew with a 1/4 inch along that line and get a perfect half square triangle on the edge of that rectangle. So now the other piece is this longer one. That's this one right here. And so again, we want this lined up nice and neatly. Get it so it's perfectly lined up on the piece. And notice that the angle is now going this way. It's going the same way, but our piece is oriented different. It's tall now as opposed to horizontal. And so again, we want the angle of the tool to be going that direction. So this time we're going to place the 2.5 inch line along this right edge of the black square. Get it lined up over here with the left edge in that corner up there as well. And then cut along here like that. And once again, we're going to sew from that point right there to that point right there, which will give us a perfect 1/4 inch. I'll go and sew those blocks, and then I'll show you how we lay out the block. So you start off by sewing the 2 small black rectangles on either side of the square. And once you've done that, you're going to add the longer black rectangles on the other side. Then the smaller piece will go there, and the larger piece will go there. They're all sewn at 1/4 inch, and everything is always pressed. For the darks, it's pressed towards the dark, and then everything is subsequently pressed out. And so when you're all done, you end up with a block that looks like this. Next, I'll show you how the blocks are all laid out before sewing them together. So once all the blocks are sewn, I lay them out on the bed in a pleasing arrangement. You notice that I've kind of taken some of the lighter ones and put that around the center to kind of draw that center out a little bit. The rest of them are just kind of mixed in there so that there's some lights and darks and greens and blues sprinkled throughout the quilt. Then down here at the bottom, I have the bottom 2 rows already sewn together. You'll see it's fairly easy to match the points. And then this row I've pressed this direction to the right, and this row I've pressed to the left so that these seams will nest when they get sewn together. So here it is, Tantalizing Teal, all complete. What do you think? I hope you like the quilt, and if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe so that you won't miss any future videos, and be sure to share this video with your friends so that they can all make a tantalizing teal or teal appeal quilt as well. So until next time, we'll say goodbye and happy quilting.